and welcome back to my channel. I'm Liam. Round 9. It's not good, not bad, just a solid average round. 2,174 had me round rank at 16,000. Still moving up 400 spots to 6,692. I'm not overly fussed with this score this week. I did double downgrade this week, leaving me with 400k for next week's trades. Plus, I had to bench. I held Shea Bolton this week, so I had a premium down on everyone. Pretty much 2 premiums down on most of the field. So hopefully I can do 2 upgrades next week and bounce back next week. So looking at my team for this week, fair few good notes. A couple of shockers, but starting with the defence, it was my primos all very, very good. Salem, 116, my pod in defence. Melbourne, while they're on the roll, will score. They seem to score a stack of points, and he's one of their best distributors of the ball. So the ball always be in his hands. It's a pick that I'm very pleased with. And it's at 558k now, so it's hard for some to reach for him, as he is a pod and are scared off. But for me to move up the ranks, I need players like him to just outscore the more popular players like a Lloyd and a Mills, and then that will help me move it up even further. Stewart, 98, very happy with him after a very slow start. Laird, 120, was everywhere in that game. I was surprised he didn't score more in the end, but you're very happy. If both Stewart and Laird both averaging 105, it's what I expected them. They'll be top 6 defenders most likely. So very pleased with them. Short bounced back with 101, averaging 98. So if you said that at the start of the year, you probably take it. It's just you've seen some other defenders performing decently, and that it just feels a bit off. But pleased with that. And Ridley, 105. I wanted, for what I paid for him, it's probably not what I want, but it's still top 8 defender status. So it's nothing bad in the end. And then this Mansell. I did loot Piemore with him. I didn't take the 47. It was like, surely he can't go below. Surely he can't go below 30. Because any player has a reasonable capability of scoring 60. They had a couple of good contested possessions, a couple of spoils. They get there. Fortunately, Mansell got -10 in the last quarter to end up with 23, and I don't see him moving up in any more price. I do see him getting dropped next week. So hopefully Murphy's back after his concussion, so Mansell becomes the handy loop. However, Richmond do play the first game of the week, so unfortunately I can't do that. Highmore's he's back. I'm very pleased. He's made 50k. Hopefully he can keep strolling along and hold his spot. Hopefully, I have a tough game against Bulldogs this week. The ball will be down there a lot, so hopefully he scores well if he does play. Midfield, mostly positive signs. McRae, 115. Oliver, amazing, 140, was everywhere. Just racks it up. Duncan, I VC'd, handy little 121. Positive 4 points on Gawn captainers. But I was never going to... you never strip down 121. You take that and run. Very pleased with his performance, and he's another pod of mine that I hope he can keep performing. Merritt just got shut out by Sarong. He was actually 57 at half time, scored 7 in the second half. So, well, it's one of those things. If you get tagged, can't do much about it. Just hope they bounce back next week. That's all. But I was going along pretty nicely. If Merritt went 110, that's a 2-2, and that's a very good round for a double downgrade. Taranto, solid 96. It's what I paid for him. So um, he just racks it up. Just because of the Richmond comeback, his first half was scaled much less than what it could have been. So he gets the ball, hands on his ball. So sounds wrong. Hands on the ball. So you can't stray away from that. Jordan, he's just been very impressive. That third quarter was monster. Had I think 40 odd. He had 66, I think, in the second half. And that is going to be handy throughout the buys. Because if he underperformed, it's probably time to offload him. But he and Collier Dawkins will hopefully hold up M7 and 8 for until the buys. Collier Dawkins very impressive. I was just for the first time the the teams coming out a day before helped me because I didn't know what was going to happen with teams later on, so I held back on bringing Burns on the Friday night, and so and brought Collier Dawkins in on the Saturday, so that helped. But with Thursday teams coming back, hopefully it just comes back to normal and we're able to. There's less stress on who's not playing, who's playing. Tommy Powell just couldn't with North not chipping around the back. He loves to get involved in all that stuff, and with them actually winning a game finally. As a North supporter, I'm very proud of them. It would have been a long season if it was 0-22, but yeah, he probably didn't get his usual cheap kicks in the back line, the bump up probably 45 to a 70. He probably goes this week with a break even of in the triple figures, so up to a primo mid, which would be very nice. McNeil, handy little cash. He's going to be a downgrade during the buys. Brockman didn't play. The rucks were solid, 109, 112. Nothing really different. Most people have these two. Flynn, very nice, 103. Hopefully he just keeps playing because he's going to make a truckload of cash, which we can use to downgrade in the buys or even just after. And he'll probably give us, if he's at 500, give us 400k, so he'll give us pretty much 2 upgrades for free in a couple of weeks' time. Zeeble, as I said, with Power, the ball was down in defence, so it's hard to score when it wasn't. Hawthorn pretty much just scored every time they went forward, so the ball wasn't actually in the defence very often. Bolton, unfortunately, he's out for a week or 2 more. Hopefully only one more week, but Poulter did cover him pretty nicely with a 66. I could have played Rowe for an 80 for 14 more, but well. You take the cash and run with that. MP 82. Hawthorn were terrible. MP tried his hardest. He's still averaging 96 and most likely end up F6 for me. Danaher's trotting along in those 80s. I actually like his role. He, with Brisbane being dominant, he should kick 2 or 3 goals a game, and plus he goes into the ruck for those 5 minutes and get some hit outs to advantage. Doesn't really tackle very much, but he gets a few little cheap kicks around. They like the ball in his hands, so he might go, probably one of the last upgraded for my team. Dusty was finally back, 121. As I said, he'll score some of those 60s, 70s where he's out of games, but he's got the ability to go massive. Kicked 4, 121, very pleased. And Scott with a 57, slowly got there in the end, was worried at half time when he was on 20. But you take that. He's another player that I looking to upgrade this week as he reaches his peak in price. At this moment, I think I've got Scott going to Aaron Hall. Yes, risky, but I'm playing the pod game, and then Powell will go up to possibly a McCluggage or Jack Steele at this very stage. I'm waiting on. I haven't looked at prices at all as of yet, but those are my early thoughts. So thanks for listening. Hope you all did well this week. Leave any trade comments and trade queries in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed, it would be very nice if you could. I've seen that 88% of you who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so if you could do that, I'd be grateful for that. So thanks for listening. I'll see you Tuesday for my trade talk vid.